let's do this. I say this in pretty much every video, how I do not want to make a video, but I have to. First of all, can we talk about this? So precious. My sister and brother-in-law got this made for my mom. Okay, so in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit boring. I printed off some stuff from online just because I want to do this video justice, and narcissism is, I feel like you can hear me breathing. It's not a joke. Well, none of what I talk about is a joke, but there's a lot of people affected by this, and I really, really, really want to get this message out there because there are a lot of people, women, adults, men, children, who are caught in this cycle of abuse who don't even know it, because narcissism is so crafty. So I have here, it looks like a lot. It's 3 pages, but the writing's pretty big. I have, what is narcissism? Sorry. What are some symptoms of narcissism? What is a specific tactic of narcissism, which is gaslighting, which is one of the biggest things that I had experienced. And then 15 symptoms that you are a victim of gaslighting or narcissism, or even maybe a sociopath. So, God, I just ask for your wisdom. Give me the words to speak. Let this be so honoring to you, honoring to everyone. I want this to be such an informational video, but also such a freeing video. Let everything that comes from this, flows from this, be respectful, be kind. Show your love, God, but also show forgiveness. That I am not angry at that person anymore. I am not under the throes of unforgiveness. God, that person I have entrusted to you fully, Lord. And I want these people to do what they can with respect, but also to honor themselves and their children or whoever may be affected by this. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name. Okay, that was a yawn. Okay. Narcissistic personality disorder, with a long-term pattern of abnormal behavior characterized by exaggerated feelings of self-importance, excessive need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. Those affected often spend much time thinking about achieving power or success, or on their appearance. They often take advantage of the people around them. The behavior typically begins by early childhood and occurs across a variety of social situations. So just let me pause right here. I think we are in a culture of narcissism. Totally. I think we don't see people as people anymore. We just see them as pawns in our little game to get whatever it is that we feel like we want. And I dated a guy because I have a great taste in dating relationships, where he said we are all, what did he say? Something. We're all some type of animal in a bucket, and he will step over and on anyone he has to get what he wants. And that is our culture. So that's just a generic definition, and obviously it's very vague and really depicts our culture, sadly, right now. But here we go. Narcissism, in lay terms, basically means that a person is totally absorbed in themselves. The extreme narcissist is the center of his own universe. To an extreme narcissist, people are things to be used. It usually starts with a significant emotional wound or a series causing from trauma. The extreme narcissist is frozen in that trauma, and he or she has become emotionally stuck at the time of this trauma. So basically, it's a defense mechanism, a healing mechanism. Sadly, I think it wasn't their fault, essentially, kind of essentially like borderline personality disorder, which parallels bipolar, but is based off of trauma and learned behavior. So I guess that's generically what narcissism is with an umbrella. And I hope as I go further into this, it's a lot easier to understand, because you'll see by example as to why this isn't just a person who's extraordinarily cocky. Okay, gaslighting. This, whew, so many, I hate gaslighting. I hate it. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation that seeks to sow seeds of doubt in a targeted individual or in members of a targeted group, making them question their own memory, perception, and sanity, using persistent denial, misdirection, contradiction, and lying in attempts to destabilize the victim and delegitimize, that is a big word, the victim's belief. Okay. Ugh. Sociopaths and narcissists use gaslighting tactics. Sociopaths consistently transgress social mores, break laws, and exploit others, but typically are also convincing liars, sometimes charming ones, who consistently deny wrongdoing. Thus, some who have been victimized by sociopaths may doubt their own perceptions. Some physically abusive spouses may gaslight their partners by flatly denying that they have been violent. Gaslighting may occur in parent-child relationships with either parent, child, or both lying to the other in attempts to undermine perceptions. This is one of the biggest things. I should have used a highlighter. An abuser's ultimate goal is to make their victims second-guess their every choice and question their sanity, making them more dependent on the abuser. A tactic which further degrades a targeted self-esteem is for the abuser to ignore, then attend to, then ignore the victim again, so that the victim lowers their personal bar for what constitute affection and perceives themselves as less worthy of affection. There are two main characteristics of gaslighting, and then after this I have a list of my own personal experiences with gaslighting. But the abuser wants full control of feelings, thoughts, or actions of the victim, and the abuser discreetly emotionally abuses the victim in hostile, abusive, or coercive ways. It is necessary to understand the warning signs. Okay, I'm going to pause there because there are 7 warning signs on that, but I just read a lot. So, my personal experience, and honestly, let me start with where I was at when I met this person. I had gone through such an amazing internship, and it was awesome. But then I came back to New York, got really involved with a local church, but then I had 6 friends pass away from either an overdose or a suicide, and then my grandfather passed away. And this was like my best friend, right? And every single death occurred when I was serving Jesus. And so it just confused me why God would do this, and he didn't, right? And I actually have a blog about this where a loving Christian friend of mine said, God did not put the needle in their arms. And I know that sounds so aggressive, but it's true. But at that point, I wasn't there. I was totally blaming God. I was totally angry. My floor had just gotten ripped out from underneath me. And it wasn't just like, okay, 100% of people die, right? Like, I literally just went through my father passing, and I literally just went through my grandfather. However, this was in 6 months span of time. And at that point, it's kind of, okay, when's another one going to bite the dust? Like, your reality is just already so skewed. And then my foundation and identity, which was in Christ, was now fully shaken. And so I was just already in this very confused, broken spot. And so I connected with this person, and I didn't know this at the time, but it was like I was his perfect target. Like, I had a car, I had a job, I had money, I was super insecure. I just wanted anyone to like me. And my Christian beliefs and foundation were so shaken that we called it excuse me for saying this, but like the F it November. And then we continued to go on to say F it forever, right? And I think it was just because I was so mad at God that I just did not want, I was also legalistic, which that's another video for another time. So I was coming from a legalistic place to like, I'm done, I don't care. So after reading everything that I just read about narcissism, sociopaths, and gaslighting, I was like the ideal target. So I had been essentially groomed by this person for 6 months. And when you're in a relationship, they're charming, they're sweet, they're kind. So you think, okay, like I'm going to trust this person. And again, didn't know what I know now. I didn't know then, right? So he had told me horrendous stories about his dad, about his stepmom. He convinced me to hate basically all of my best friends, my family. Like he had used the smallest thing that I had used or told him about and used it against me. So example 1, it was October, I think. Yeah, it was October. We had been married May, June, July, August, September, October, 6 months. He stole my parents' credit card. Why? Like, why would you do that? And his reasoning was, I am paying your parents back for the stuff that they did to you when you were little. None of your business. Why are you trying to be this like superhero trying to like take over? So why this pertains to gaslighting. So as soon as I saw the credit card charges, they were for cigarettes, gas, and video games. If you know this person that I'm talking about, video games were their thing. So I knew instantly. And so I text this person and I said, listen, I love you. I'm your teammate. I don't think what you did was right, but I have your back. Just let me know so I can fight for you and not look like an idiot. I can't believe you. You and your family are full of drama. You guys are always trying to just affect people in a negative way and just like berating me and my family. And I was like, dang, like maybe I am wrong. Like maybe he is right. Like why would I accuse my husband of doing something so awful? Well, there's security cameras, right? So he was caught, and my mom literally called him and was like, friend, I don't even want to say his name because this is public forum and I want to be respectful. Anyway, my mom called him and said, friend, did you steal my credit card? Please just tell me, you know? No, I didn't. I really hope you can find out who it was. Like maybe we can look at video surveillance. Maybe we can get fingerprints. Like I'll come with you. Like I really hope you catch the guy. And she was like, dude, did you do it? You know? And, no, you know? And she was like, I am about to walk into the police station. They have proof of who it was. There's video surveillance catching who did it. Was it you? Please just be honest. No, like it would never be me. Would never do it. Lo and behold, who is clear-faced on the surveillance? Friend. What? And then proceeds to call me in pure devastation. And I'm like uber pregnant. And he's like, I just messed up. I don't know. Like, da-da-da. And then like, I go see him because like, I'm a codependent rescuer, right? My side. And there's no emotion. All of the tears were fake. You've got to be joking me. So stinking confusing. So anyway, oh, here's 2 more. I'm going to try and make these examples a little bit faster, but I just want you to know because I want to do this video justice, it's going to be long. I was thinking of doing it in like 2 or 3 parts, but I didn't want to make this video to begin with. So I'm just going to get it out. I actually lost sleep over this stupid video last night. So anyway, I am an extrovert. I'm an empath. I just love people. I have a big personality. When I do have confidence, it shows. I just love communicating with people. So he was an isolator, antisocial personality disorder, red flag, symptom of a sociopath, and partly a narcissist. Whatever. But looking back then, didn't know. So I distinctly remember this one time where I was like, fine, I will go with you, right? Because it was like he just had so many excuses. And like, I'm Fix-It Felix. Like, if there's a problem, I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to tell you 10 ways how to do it. I'll do it for you. I'll hold your hand. Like, whatever needs to get done, it's going to get done. So we just had all these excuses, and I was like, okay, like, let's do it, right? No. So we went to this meeting, but it was outside, and it was like a support group, and it was a community of people that were all our age, right? And I was like, all right, let's go talk to these people. And he's like, Tanya, you just talk too much. Like, you take over a crowd, and it's really overwhelming. Damn, like, that hurt. But again, that's like a part truth, right? Like, I do take over crowds. I am loud. I do talk a lot. But instantly it was like, ugh, like, when they talk about, they make you like question yourself. They make you, a tactic which further degrades a specific target's self-esteem. Then they ignore you, then they attend to you, and then they ignore you again. And I remember that day because it was like, I hated him, and then he would come and comfort me, and then I hated him again. And I initially thought, like, okay, maybe he's just having a panic attack. Maybe it's overwhelming. But, like, it's right there, right? Like, he was what these things are saying. Now, this one is my favorite because it was one of those ones where I was like, there's no way, right? So we had a house fire in April of 2015. Judah was 1 month old, and friend and Judah and our dog were the only people in the house at the time. So many things involved in this alone. So many questions. So example 1, he said it was the hot tub. The hot tub had no smoke damage, nothing. It literally wasn't even attached to said fire, so you're lying. Which makes you look like a suspect to begin with. And it could have simply been an accident. It was like a hot day, dry, like, but you lied, right? So anyway, he lies for a good 3 months and then goes, babe, I have to talk to you about something. I was like, what? You know, and he's like, it was me. It was an accident. And I'm going to hold myself accountable. I went off the handle. Like, oh, these poor kids playing basketball next to us probably thought I was abusive. I went up one side, down the other. Literally, like, every ounce of insecurity, fear, anger, frustration. Like, you almost killed our child. You ruined my family's home. Like, the stress that was involved. Like, so much hatred boiled up in that moment. And his response was, literally body language and all, I mean, at least I told you. Oh my goodness. Do you feel the rage? Like, in that moment, and just like, try to put yourself in that moment. Like, you've got to be joking me, right? And again, the reason I brought up the house fire is I sent him away to some kind of like treatment center thing. And during this time, all our stuff got sent away to be cleaned, which is like what they do when you have a house fire. So when I moved into the apartment that I live in, I set up everything. So when he came home, he felt like he was home. Like, it wasn't just like, I'm staying here as a guest. Like, he had a toothbrush. I unpacked all his clothes. Like, it was, I wanted him to come in and it was like his house too. Well, he was home maybe a week and I found a brand new pack of cigarettes in his sweatshirt. And I was like, this guy, like, in my head, I was like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know why I said that, because I don't even know what I thought in that moment. But he instantly was like, well, maybe it was the fire people. Like, he, like, believed his own lies. And I was like, why would the fire people have cigarettes? And why would they leave them in your sweatshirt? Like, they're not even stale. You've been gone for a whole month. Like, they're brand new. And he's like, well, maybe you left them there. Like, I had quit smoking, like, years before this. So I was like, maybe I had, like, a cigarette, like, before I was pregnant. So I was like, no. 2, I'm grown. If I have a pack of cigarettes, I'm going to leave it out for myself. Like, it's my house. I don't have to live in hiding. So then, this went on for, like, hours, right? And, like, you think, okay, Tanya, get it together. But this is after, like, a year of him grooming me. And, like, I remember laughing at myself because for, like, a split second, I was like, huh, maybe I did borrow that sweatshirt and randomly have a pack of... No, stop. What? No. So then, like, I text one of my accountabilities because I was like, I feel like my foundation is cracking again. Like, I had already been in therapy trying to, like, do my own healing while he was gone. And anyway, maybe I'll just do a video of the 13 months that I was married to a narcissist, because how many months was it? 15 months, but whatever. Too many examples to count. But as you can see, there's just so much confusion, so much doubt, a lot of isolation involved. Like I said, you know, he had told me all these horrendous things about his dad and stepmom. Like, he didn't want me to like them, and he didn't want me to like them and them to like me, right? We see each other once a month. Like, we're super close with them, and, like, all of what he told both of us were, like, total lies. Whatever. So, back to the papers. Here are some warning signs of gaslighting. Withholding information, countering information to fit the abuser's perspective, discounting information, verbal abuse, usually in the form of jokes, making sure, because I have PCOS, so I get a beard sometimes, and he would wait till we were in public in front of our friends and mention it to everyone. Blocking and diverting the victim's attention from outside sources, trivializing the victim's worth, and undermining victim by gradually weakening them and their thought process. 3 most common methods: hiding. The abuser may hide things from the victim and cover up what they have done. Changing. The abuser feels the need to change something about the victim. And control. The abuser may want to fully control and have power over the victim. I'm glad I read my examples first, because, come on, right? Okay. And now, hopefully to the good part. And then I'm already at 25 minutes. So maybe I will do part 2 of the surviving part, and from surviving to thriving, right? Let's see. Okay. Something is off about your friend, partner, son, daughter, mother, father, whoever, but you can't quite explain it or pinpoint it. You frequently, so for me, this was friend, the partner. Something was off and I couldn't quite get it, but I was always doubting myself. You frequently second guess your ability to remember the details of past events, leaving you psychologically powerless. Yes, we would have an argument and he'd be like, no, he didn't. No, like, I was watching a movie, you were feeding Judah, like, what are you even talking about? You feel confused and disoriented. You feel threatened and on edge around this person, but you don't know why. You feel the need to apologize all the time for what you do or who you are. You never feel good enough. You feel like there's something fundamentally wrong with you, that you're neurotic or you're losing it. You feel like you're constantly overreacting or too sensitive. You feel isolated, hopeless, misunderstood, and depressed. You find it hard to trust your own judgment, and given a choice, you choose to believe the judgment of the abuser. You feel scared as though something is terribly wrong, but you don't know what, and you don't know why. You find it hard to make decisions because you distrust yourself. You feel as though you're a much weaker version of yourself and you were much more strong and confident in the past. You feel guilty for not feeling happy like you used to. You become afraid of speaking up or expressing your emotions, so you stay silent instead. Okay. Me. It was me. And a lot of what I'm talking about, I'm sure some people may comment, or when I interview them from their perspective, they might bring this up. But one of my best friends, who I've known for 10 years, did not meet my son until he was probably 7 months old. And I think in part because she was away, but in part because I was completely isolated. And I didn't invite one of my very, very best friends to be in my wedding because the doubts that this person had put in my mind, even way back then. He took small truths, which were healthy conflicts in friendship, healthy things that could have just been dealt with, and he made them into this huge thing and ended up with this person not being in our wedding. So control, manipulation, and one of my best friends was very vocal to me about the abuse that she had seen early on and the red flags that she had seen. So what was he gonna do but create a division, because she was right. So yeah. If you have any questions or want more details, email me, or I'm going to write this book. I have to write it soon, because at this point with my life experience, it's going to be literally like this big. Okay. So I'm in this moment right now where it's like, do I end this or do I continue? I'm going to end it. I'm going to end it. And I'm going to upload it, and then I'm going to sit here and make